Good morning. Charmaine Watt coming to you live from Regina, Saskatchewan. What a great week this has been so far. I attended a 3-day prairie real estate forum here in Regina, and not only did I learn a lot, but I also networked with like-minded people from BC to Ontario, and that was happening right here in our own city. Although the doors opened up at 8 a.m. each day, we could go in and browse the vendor booths, and then the education part started at 9 a.m. and it lasted until 5 or 6 p.m. daily. Excuse me while I set my water down. Now, except for the last day when we were done about 5 p.m. Then, of course, we networked and visited while enjoying some food until 9:30 or 10 p.m. each night. So very long days, but great experiences. I learned at this event that the notes that I take at the conferences I attend are really uncashed checks, and that I should be sharing those notes or anything else really that I learn and share that information with others so that they can also learn from this. Now, we had excellent speakers again this year. This is the 3rd year that we've held the event, and each year it continues to grow and get larger. Mark Frentz, he has a master's degree in psychology, and his focus was on neuroscience. Now, currently he is a consultant with the Proctor Gallagher Institute, and he focuses on how people can reach more of their potential and understand their deepest desires, and then learning motivation and moving past procrastination and towards success and inspiration and fulfillment in their life. And I think that's what a lot of us are trying to do in our own personal lives. Now, Mark recommended that we read a book by Maxwell Maltz, a person I've never heard of, and it was called Psycho-Cybernetics. I like the word just for it sounds really neat. Mark also spoke about the success cycle, which is new results, new thoughts, desirable emotions, new behavior, and habits. Those are great goals to be always achieving each day or trying to achieve each day. Mark suggested that during every session or speaker, we highlight the most important point of that event. Then at the end of the morning, when we go for our lunch break, we choose the most important point from those. Then at the end of the day, we also choose the most important point from the day. And then at the end of the 3-day conference, choose the most important point and work on that. So I thought that was also another great way to look at doing things, because you take so much out of these events and you think, wow, where do I really start? How do I do that? Then our next guest speaker was Paul Martin. Now, not the finance minister, he's a speaker out of Saskatoon. He is a highly sought after consultant and is the chair of Martin Charlton Communications. Now, I've heard Paul speak probably 4 or 6 times, and every time the knowledge he has about Saskatchewan is just incredible. He talks about Saskatchewan's GDP, jobs, exports, the economy, the budget. He even talked about the lean process and how, even though it had a lot of negative rap, about all the great things that it really did do. He talked about social housing, how in BC they have 17,000 units, and in BC they have 7,000 units, but in Saskatchewan we have 17,000 units. So it makes you wonder why we have those issues here when we're a smaller province with people in our province. Now, with regards to the $14 billion budget, did you know that 80% is allocated to human services, which is health, education, justice, and social services? I didn't. 1% of the population consumes 1/3 of the human services budget. 60% of the people in jail are in remand, which means they have not been convicted of a crime. Although some of these people have been committed, they are awaiting sentence. To have someone sit in the jail system costs us, the taxpayer, approximately $350,000 per year. Now, when you consider how many people are in jail, I do tend to think some of that money could be better spent elsewhere, especially for those that are in jail and really a lot of their problems are due to mental health issues that have not been diagnosed and dealt with properly. So that $350 would be better spent there. Now, don't get me wrong, there are a lot of people that deserve to be in jail and should be in jail for their life. So now, 5% of the population consumes 1/3 of the Human Services budget. This works out to about $68,000 per person. And then last, only 94%, I shouldn't say only, 94% of the population consumes only 1/3 of the Human Services budget. I think that's where most of us fall into, where we're working citizens and we go to work every day, we get up, we're responsible, we pay our bills, we pay our taxes, and the things like that. The other thing that he spoke about was, did you know that the world's most successful global trader is Saskatchewan? How can that be when we're such a small province compared to the rest of the world? Well, a lot of it is because of our agriculture. We feed the world. And personally, I've known that from a very young age, growing up on the farm and taking the education I did in school about agriculture. So I've always known that. But there are a lot of people out there that have no idea just how much product is produced in Saskatchewan and exported worldwide for other people to enjoy and have a good and healthy lifestyle. So then we went on to another speaker by the name of Barry McGuire. Barry is an investor and a lawyer with over 40 years of experience as an attorney, and his focus is on real estate. Although Barry is from Edmonton, the majority of the laws relating to real estate are the same throughout the country. So some of the terminology might be different from province to province, but it is still the same thing. So just, tweaking the terminology in the agreements. Barry spoke about agreements for sale, which is what I have done with my apartment blocks that I have purchased. And although I had not been following Barry McGuire, I had heard of him. So he will be something I'll be following online in the near future. Well, actually today. And when Barry is back in Regina this summer to do a workshop, I will be attending, as he will be teaching us more about how to do agreements for sale. And although I've purchased my apartment blocks using this method and I've been very happy with it, there is so much more to also learn about the proper, maybe more tweaking about how you can make it a better deal than what I've even done. And then we also had an event called the Prairie Dragons, and it is always a hit with the attendees. It's a lot of fun to do. I've been on it for each year. And although I missed the first deal that was being presented, I did manage to listen to the rest. And it is amazing what is available out here in Saskatchewan that people don't even know about. Drew presented a 12-unit apartment block, a 12-unit apartment here in Saskatchewan. And although there is currently a 45% vacancy rate in that unit, only 2 more suites would need to be filled in order for it to be cash flowing. That's not really a huge thing to do. Now, you can do that through a variety of ways, maybe lowering the rent a little bit, offering incentives for people to move in, upgrade it so it looks better. There was also a discussion about how to add value to the building by installing in-suite laundry. It's convenience. People love conveniences. There was a suggestion to turn the building into a life lease building, and another great idea for especially smaller communities. People want to stay in their communities as they age. The best part is that Drew has it under contract and the vendor will carry the complete cost of the building. How's that for having no money in the deal and still owning and profiting from a business? Another person that spoke and presented their deal was Jancy. She's a local lady. Her and her husband have been doing fix and flips for a number of years now. They are very successful. The first opportunity she had in Regina was a triplex in Broder's Annex. Now, it's not a bad area. I personally have lived in Broder's Annex when my husband and I bought our first home. It's a great little community. This was a fix and flip that is now complete, and she is only asking $249,900 for that unit. What a great opportunity for someone wanting to get into owning their own home, their own first home, and maybe don't have quite the money to pay the mortgage on it. This is an opportunity for them to get in. They live in one of the units, they rent out the other 2, and for the most part, the rental units will probably pay all or most of the mortgage, or maybe even all of the utilities on the property, including the mortgage. How's that for having a rent-free place to live and somebody else paying your mortgage? So the second one is a fix and flip near the Orr Center. Now, for those of you that don't live in Regina, the Orr Center is where the nursing students are being educated at, and it's just off, it's just off Louvain Drive here, and it's on 4th Avenue. So it's right on the corner, and it's a great location. It's a highly sought after area for students that are going to the Orr Center. So Jancy is currently looking for $250,000 from an investor so she can do this fix and flip. Now, she will pay 10% annual return. So if you were, and the time frame for this fix and flip is 4 to 6 months from the start of the fix to selling it at the end of the flip. Now, if it turns out to be 4 months from the start to the end, that means you could reinvest in another 2 fix and flips this year. So, and in the end, that means then that you have now made a 30% return on your investment. Where else can you do that? I don't know of any mutual fund that is offering you 30% return on your investment. And then Logan, well, he's a young man. He presented an 8-plex in southeast Saskatchewan that he has under contract. 6 of the 8 units are leased by Mosaic, so you've got guaranteed income. And the other bonus behind this is that they just renewed that contract for 2 years, so you don't even have to go looking for any tenants. The building was built in 2011 and requires little to no maintenance because it's such a new build. Now, the property is already cash flowing, and Logan is looking to raise 20% of the capital to close on the deal. Another great opportunity. Now, Mosaic is the potash mines, for those that don't know about that. Our next guest speaker was Marcin, and I have trouble saying his last name. It's Drodes. He works in the private capital markets here in Canada. Now, I met Marcin about a year ago when I attended another meeting for investors, where you can invest your real estate, invest your RSPs or any other money you might have into real estate. And I've done that throughout Canada and the US, and it's been really wonderful. Marcin is only 32 years old, and he has raised over $100 million. He has built several companies, including a commercial real estate acquisitions company, a financial services firm, a business funding group, and he is co-founder of another company that focuses on recurring monthly revenue for the business, and that is in the form of security for homes. And like so many of us at the conference, Marcin has never gone to university. People like to say, well, gee, you can't do some of the things you're doing because you don't have a university degree or something like that. That's not true. I know another lady in our group, she only has a grade 10 education. She has millions of dollars in assets and I think over 200 properties. So don't ever let the education you have or don't have limit you in what you want to do in life. So Marcin also spoke about making a business scalable and saleable, something I'd never heard about before, by having proper processes in place. And he recommended that we read a book by John Warrillow called The Automatic Customer. So this is about subscription. Marcin spoke about subscription-based business or pay-per-use/share model businesses. So that's where our country is going and where people like to be in today's society. And so we need to work towards going there so we can also benefit from those deals. Shauna Golan, she is a certified dream builder, coach, and life mastery consultant. Although I can't repeat her story word for word, I love her mouse story. Basically, the mouse is being threatened to be eaten by a cat, and the mother mouse gathers her little babies to safety. The cat is coming to get her, and she barks. The cat runs away, and then the mother mouse turns to her babies and tells them, it is never too early to learn a second language. I just love that story because, again, it shows that if you're creative and think outside the box, you can get ahead. And in her case, save her life and her babies' lives. But anyway, just getting ahead and looking at things and doing things differently is what we should all be doing on a daily basis. Shelley Hagan, well, what can I say about her? She is so talented. I strive to be like her. I love the stories that she tells and the deals that she is doing. Not only does Shelley deal in real estate, she wholesales a variety of products. This is something that she fell into quite by accident, really. One year she was out doing a business deal, and the person that she was speaking with said to her, "Do you know anyone that has any jet fuel to sell?" She said, "Well, what do I know about jet fuel? I'm doing real estate." And although she didn't know it at the time or have anyone that she knew that had jet fuel, she took down the information, she wrote down the name and all the information about the jet fuel this person wanted. And then about 6 weeks later, she had a customer that said, "Do you know anyone that wants to buy some jet fuel?" And she just started laughing. So it's a matter of networking and getting to know people and being out and about and just connecting, making the connections with those people, making things happen. So she has since wholesaled diamonds, something we all love for women anyway, sugar and scrap metal, and those are just a few of the things that she has been doing. Currently, she told us that she has two diamond mines where the owners are looking to sell because they want to retire. I'd love to own a diamond mine. I just don't think I would be able to do something like that, though. Like run it, I mean. Not that I couldn't own it. So that's really awesome. And currently, one of the deals I picked up at the event was a C-can of car parts. I don't know anything about car parts. If I have a car problem, I usually say to my husband, David, "Hey, it's making this noise. What's that mean?" And he'll say, "Oh, this is what's wrong with it. We need to get it fixed," or he'll fix it, whatever. So I have no experience in car parts. I don't know what they're basically called. I don't know how much they're worth. I have no idea. So some of the car parts are TRW and Federal Mogul. Again, I don't know what those names mean. And I was told that all those parts have been inventoried. Now the rest have not been inventoried, and they are parts from 1900 to 1990. So this is an item that will be sold as one package. It will not be piecemealed sold. And so if you are interested, give me a call. If you know someone that might be interested, let them know. Have them give me a call, and we'll get things happening. Again, it's networking. So then we had a speaker by the name of Carl Allen from the UK. And Carl spoke about buying businesses that using other people's money. So currently there are more than 2.6 million businesses for sale in the world. Well, I shouldn't say in the world. That was just in 4 countries, I believe, that he mentioned. And on average, only 1 in 3 will sell. So did you know that it is cheaper to give a business away than to sell it? So for me, this was a whole new area to learn more about. And Carl will be coming to Saskatchewan in the near future to educate us on that. So I'm looking forward to that. Carl also suggested that we read a book called Barbarians at the Gate. Unfortunately, I could not locate the author on that book because we lost our power at about 9:30, and SaskPower's recording said we will not have power again until 11 a.m. this morning. So I'm sure with the internet access and all you young people that are so Google friendly, you'll be able to search that out by yourself. And one of our last guest speakers was Dave Rathbone. Now, he is an expert on apartment building renovations, and he spoke about spending on efficiencies. Now, for anyone that has done renovations to their homes or anything else like that, I'm sure you will recognize most of the items I'm going to talk about. Low flush toilets, changing the lighting in the common areas to LED and energy efficient types, add in suite laundry so we can demand a higher rent. When doing renovations, we should focus on the 2 most expensive rooms to renovate, which of course are the kitchen and the bathroom. Replace doors when replacing flooring, because this really freshens up the suite and makes it look more modern. Most of the time the doors have been used and abused anyway, so they really do need replacing. And add a dishwasher. Who doesn't like to have a dishwasher now for convenience? And in the end, it really saves you money on water prices too. So add in built-in microwaves. Now personally, I don't like built-in microwaves because I'm short and usually they're way up above my head, so I don't personally like those. So update faucets and shower heads to water-saving models. That's something I've already done because once again, I don't like being wasteful. Improve your curb appeal by adding in flower beds and hanging flower baskets. Now, flower beds I'm okay with, and although I love the idea of hanging baskets, if you're not on site every day to maintain them by watering them, that could be a lot harder to do, and then you might just have a dead plant hanging there and it won't look so nice. Another one would be to upgrade the intercom. A lot of them are original to the buildings, and you can tell. It's not that they don't work, it's the fact that they maybe don't look as nice as people think a new place should be looking. Replace the mailboxes. Now for me, what I was going to do with mine, and I've actually contacted Canada Post, I'd actually like to get the mailboxes out of my building and out to the street for the community mailboxes, or whatever they call that. And my reason for that was, one, it gets the junk mail out of the front of my entrance building, where tenants tend to leave it laying on the top of the mailboxes or on the floor or on the heat registers and things like that. So I felt if I got it out of my building, it'd be one less issue to deal with. I've not heard back from Canada Post yet. They did tell me it'd probably be 6 to 8 or maybe even a year before they got back to me, which I think is pretty shameful. But that was one of my solutions to, instead of replacing the mailboxes. So I'm going to give it a little bit longer before I actually replace my mailboxes, but that's what I would like to do, is just get it out of my building. Insulate hot water lines. This prevents water from being wasted, because tenants will just turn on a tap, and you would too if it was you, until you get enough hot water to do what you want to do. Install isolation valves. Something I hadn't thought about, that was for sure. This increases the hot water and the water flow to the suites, so I didn't know anything about that one. One I was not aware of at all, but liked and will implement on future apartment acquisitions, was to have the owner replace the old boiler before I purchase the building. Now you're thinking, why would a person do that when a boiler is, well, depending on the size of the building, probably $40,000. Well, boilers are not only used to heat the building, but they're also used to, in some buildings, to heat the water for the tenants. Modern boilers are more efficient and will save you money on power. Even if you have to pay a little bit more for the property because of the previous owner is going to replace that boiler, it is well worth it, because you now have that new boiler, which is now part of your mortgage deal, instead of becoming part of a capital expense. Now, I don't know enough about income tax laws, but that I do know it's better to not have a capital expense, because I understand you just have to kind of, write off so much every year to pay for that. So next year's Prairie Real Estate Forum will be held on March 26th, 27th, and 28th. So mark your calendars now. Call me. I will ensure you have a seat to attend the event. It is fabulous. Next year it's even going to be bigger and better. You don't want to miss it. If you would like to learn more or have any questions about what I have spoken about today, please contact me at charmaine.watt@sastal.net. That is SHARMANE WATT @SASKTEL.net. Don't forget to check out my website at www.TCESTRATEGIVESTMENTS.com. That's TCE Strategic Investments. And remember, don't live your life by live your life by design and not by default. Take care and have a great day.